I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
GBC has only received for its benefit an amount of $105,000 US dollars.
The government has built sports stadiums in 10 regional capitals of our country.
5 years to be completed. You have not built 10 stadiums. So what you said was a palpable lie. We didn't say we have completed. We said we have built.
Again, $3 million US dollars and a sports ministry at time at the GBC for sale. We taking the coverage of 13 All African Games here across Nansiano. Hey, now sports ministry and family Kwabusia. Aha, Tuntum TV. So you subscribe here, but more than subscribing. Now what turn on the notification button so at the my watching all your comment section. I say if I am not pushing my for now we be and share all the social media platforms so be here. Tuntum TV now. Yen share yen same. Mobaka ya match more baby and a Ghana you will see 13 All African Games and their course was and there. And my how do be brain and the people say yeah then I will can't say no echo share so. Now and day public committee for Afra Mustafa Yusuf. So remember bu encounter enfanche. Na encounter boni mono and Sam George ekobisa Mustafa Yusuf or sports minister say Sika saying and a modern man GBC for same omun take coverage for 2 weeks Now and someone and as a reply sports minister Man Sam Nate George and the Ebusia and also Chairman omutua GBC for $3 million US dollars.
We had an arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Thank you so much. Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million US dollars for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid and how much has been paid. Chairman, I'm grateful.
Now the Director General my GBC what say no say na say na sports minister who came sika the bread GBC for say you take coverage for 2 weeks $105,000 US dollars. They see then and a quarter public account committee no catch almost my GBC form $3 million US dollars for 2 weeks coverage.
Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. First, has GBC indeed received the said amount mentioned by the Minister for Youth and Sports?
GBC has only received for its benefit an amount of $105,000 US dollars. But GBC has reported on work done by externally sourced production teams, has reported to the ministry that work has been accomplished and these organizations should be paid, not to GBC's benefit, but to these organizations. That we have done. But GBC as a corporation, the total benefit of GBC was $105,000 US dollars. The statement said in excess of $3 million. No, if GBC did not benefit from any $3 million US dollars payment.
Now we'll get into the details so that we understand really the role GBC played and get a better understanding of what the minister said and then what GBC really benefited from. Now, but where do you think that statement is coming from? The statement that said that we received a $3 million. Where do you think that information came from the minister?
I cannot second guess where it came from. All I can say is this. There were externally sourced production teams. GBC was invited to the table less than 1 month to the games, that they wanted us as the official broadcaster and that we should do the production. And we made it very clear that an event or a series of events such as 2 weeks of sporting fiesta, GBC did not have the technical equipment to do that. So we made it very clear to the ministry from the first meeting that that has to be outsourced. We don't have the equipment. We don't have the equipment capacity to do it. So the ministry agreed that we should play the role of the official broadcaster, and technical teams were brought in from outside the country. They flew in with their equipment, And as the official broadcaster, we had the responsibility to confirm that work was done and that payment should be effected. And some of these payments were routed through GBC to these third-party payments. Those transfers were not for the benefit of GBC. And we could never have used those monies for GBC's needs. No, it wasn't possible. That would have been criminal. We facilitated payments to foreign third parties who came in to do the production and not for the benefit of GBC. The benefit total payment to GBC's for GBC's benefit, I repeat, was $105,000, and that is what we got.
Now, but does GBC have any evidence to back what you're saying? Because, I mean, the minister is the one in charge. He has made a statement.
Of course.
What evidence do we have?
We definitely have enough documentation. These monies are not paid in bags. They are paid through the bank. And they are indicated what the money is for. And before we do that, there's a letter we will receive from the ministry telling us whose payment it should be for. And so we don't act on our own. We act upon instructions. And that we have all the documentations, and we have everything in place to show that these monies, you see, public funds are not easily disbursed like that. GBC needs $3 million to do a lot of things. And if we got the $3 million, we would have gone ahead to start spending on GBC's needs, including procuring an OB van. We didn't get that money.
So, Sports Minister Echirima, wama GBC for $3 million. Dr. Hassan Amin so Echirima, GBC for sika munya ya $105,000. This is one and a eka no krene. Ebusan asem wa journalists ni etwa so ebisa ni say. And now from mo say technicians some about field don be take live coverage no. Ibi mu chirema up to now, omunya omusika na no so no nchemu enenesen.
In my response to the chairman of PAC, copy to Honorable Sam George, and copy to the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, and copy to the Honorable Minister of Information, as well as the National Media Commission, we stated clearly that we paid our staff who were deployed to location 100 Ghana cedis a day for showing up to work. An accountant and an internal auditor were dispatched daily to visit all the sites and pay. And only those who showed up to work took the money. It doesn't, if you were dutied and scheduled to be at, let's say, Boteman Stadium and Sports Complex, and you did not show up, you could not claim that payment. So as far as I am concerned, all staff who were qualified to receive the payments have been duly paid. And it is not an entitlement you can claim without going on location to work. In fact, it is not even covered by any collective agreement. Management had learned that food was expensive on those locations. So we first decided that we're paying them 50 Ghana cedis each. And we were told food was expensive. So we increased it to 100 cedis. And these monies were paid on location. Now, when something is paid on location, you can't come back to BH and say you were there, you want the payment. You cannot be paid. That is why, for accountability's sake, we make sure that on every trip of the finance personnel, an internal auditor accompanied him. So we paid all technicians who were deployed to work. Nobody has been left out, unless you choose not to visit the site or you choose not to take the payment. That is your choice.
So in summary, GBC does not owe any technician. The monies received from the ministry, as stated by the minister, did not come to GBC for spending.
Absolutely right. We did not receive these monies for the benefit of GBC. The only money we received for the benefit of GBC was $105,000. All other payments were paid to technical service providers who were duly paid or yet to be paid, whatever. But GBC's payment in total was $105,000, and we received our money. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, DG.
It's been a pleasure to be here to clarify these things about this. Thank you very much.
Sister, Professor Hassan Amin Echirima said, Sports Ministry ever more money, $105,000. Sports Minister also say amount GBC for $3 million. Hey, I say we so good. And now David was saying some say recently, you might see Sports Stadium about 10 across the nation. No, there must have $3 million US now. All kind of demand so can one now.
The Akufo-Addo government has invested heavily in the renovation of sports stadiums across the country, including the Accra Sports Stadium, Baba Yara Sports Stadium, the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. In addition to this, the government has built sports stadiums in 10 regional capitals of our country. 6 of these stadiums, namely Wa in the Upper West, Dunkwa in the Office Central, Axim in Western, Domahinkro in Bono, Ho in the Volta, and Koforidia in the Eastern region. They are all ready, with the Koforidia Sports Stadium having been commissioned by His Excellency, the President of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The remaining 4 are expected to be completed this year. I think a round of applause will do. Thank you.
Now, I know James Avejikru Jaoye head Edema Public Accounts Committee, Ebisa Mustafa, ya ono air sports minister say, David was saying in some account say, then people are buying to see 10 sports stadiums across the nation, you know, and also so Ninchemo and Nessay, because records are on our war, and then near David was say air canon, it doesn't tally, it is so one champion on farming.
Honorable Minister, yesterday, at your manifesto launch, you claim to have built 10 stadiums in Ghana from 2017. Can you give me the location of those stadiums? Not the Youth Resource Center. Oh, okay, give me the center, the Youth Resource Center that you are calling stadium. Give me the locations. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one in Wa. Okay. We have one in Navrongo. We have one in Yendi. We have Yendi. Okay. We have one in Ehinehini. We have Ehinehini. There is an issue in Ehinehini here. We will respond to you right now. Then we have one in Azim. We have one in Dunkwa Ofin. We have one in Adaklu. And we have one in Domahinkro. And we have one in Azuma Nesen. And we have one in Kofodia, Kanation, Azuma Nesen. We have one in Kofodia. Kofodia one has been commissioned and is currently being used. Mr. Chair, you have one in what? Kofodia. That's 10. No. One, Akacha Wa, Navrongo, Yendi, and Azim, Dunkwa Adaklu, Domahinkro, Kofodia. Yes. That's mine. And Kaneshi, okay. All right. You see, Honorable Minister, you see the Ninahin one? Have you seen it? Chairman, and I appreciate the challenges that we are currently facing challenges with the funding, because the National Youth Authority was the institution funding these stadiums that we are building. But when our colleague took the Common Fund disbursement to the Supreme Court, and the Common Fund was directed that we are not eligible per the laws that we have passed here to get 5% of the allocation of the Common Fund to the National Youth Authority, which was the source of the funding for this facility. We had started having issues for the past 3 years. So we decided that the little that we are getting from the Common Fund, because she has to use her discretion instead of what you approved, the Parliament approved, directed because of the Supreme Court ruling, the little that we are getting is that we are now making sure that we finish them in phases, because the money that originally the budget that we had cannot continue to use work on all the 10. So the first phase of all the 10 are done, and the second phase we have staggered them. 5 of them are going to be completed and commissioned, and then the rest of the 5 will complete them by next year. So by Honorable Minister, it means that you have completed 5 out of the 10 of the youth resource centers. The other 5 are going to be completed later. Is that the case? Yes, Mr. Chairman. So what your party said yesterday, that you have built 10 stadiums, is false. It's not. Because it's not. You have just admitted that you completed 5. We have completed 5, but the rest of the, as we speak, the rest of the 5 we are going to make sure that we complete them. Because so you are working on that. So you can't say you have completed 10. The phase one Ghanaians are watching and listening to you. Yes, the phase one have all been completed. You have built 5 resource centers, 5 years to be completed. You have not built 10 stadiums. So what he said was a palpable lie. We didn't say we have completed. We said we have built. If you go to Adakulu now, the structures is there. If you go to Kofodia, the structures are there. If you go to Azim, the structures are there. If you go to Azim, the structures are there. Okay. Let's move on. We are now going to. Have they completed Navrongo?
Mr. Chairman, you remember I asked this question in Parliament. I even pleaded through the Speaker for you to complete the Navrongo Sports Stadium. This sports stadium was built by the Achampong so many years ago. You have come to only do the field. And you know there was that dispute, the issue between the 2 contractors, which I'm not sure it has been resolved. So if you say you have gone, but the place is locked, it's locked.
Chairman, we've resolved the issue between the contractors, but the challenges that I've just stated has to do with the disbursement, the releases from Common Fund. That's why we have not gone back to site. But I can assure the Honourable Member of Parliament from Navrongo, which is our backyard, that will complete it.
And a sports journalist back on Sadiq Adams also as some sports minister Air Canada and send us some house mobile $3 million said the GBC for just 2 weeks coverage. As some years in it on Tiasi. Tono sono akansembi afa in some minister Air Canada.
$3 million paid to Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, in excess of $3 million. And I Ghana Broadcasting Corporation for the coverage of the African Games, the 13th African Games. From Enra, my some calls and trying to go deeper into these issues of. To be very honest. A multi-sport event of international nature like that. What I know, and it's the rights is sold.
Okay.
Even for Ghana Premier League, I think say GBC for now omopeso omutuya around $1 million. If you remember, now GBC omopeso omutuya $1 million for Ghana Premier League. I mean, say a year for Ghana.
Okay.
It's very difficult that television station be war Congo because say author rights every the right holder now wababe broadcast Ghana Premier League. So Ghana Premier League will be predominantly a Ghana based coverage.
Of course.
Into one television station you ready say obetua $1 million.
Okay.
For the coverage of Ghana Premier League per year. You remember that Omone Star Times, they were almost a par. And Star Times, etimi ewene bed. Inti multi-sports events mostly you turn right, just like NBC in America.
Okay.
Omoto Olympic Games right, from the mother company. Olympic Games, a mother company will purchase it.
Okay.
Na countries be a TSK.
Okay.
Say some the IAP so sports minister Echema one my GBC $3 million. Director General for GBC so Echema sika munya $105,000. 10 sports stadiums be PM by David Osem and Sadiq Adams so akasa edi afọ yi say yehu ensam no ne nukure bia ewom na wo be ya shemo boss say ne no kwakosi bia no Tuntum TV ye de be brem ne yehu ensam no be bia ekwakọ akosie sponsors ne de bia me bom di me bom abaso because mu di djuma won so e de man Achem Kwa Cosmetics or Defo Grills and Restaurants and so and a Royal Heart Home Healthcare omo de mo so masin de bia ye di djube de ebe so mo de asem obe friend numbers na egu Bomadi say be friend numbers say good screens na no no din so nya pe bia no me provide e ama bomadi say oba subscribe no turn on the notification button so e dey all the social media platforms be bia Tuntum TV bo adwen or comment section na say ever na push him ma foforo so na omo ye bi e hwe e din de Kwaku Yopo.